Listen to these two sentences. I prefer to work from home. I would prefer to work from home. Do you know the difference?
Most learners think they're the same, but the nuance, totally different.
One sounds direct, maybe even blunt. The other sounds polite and soft. That tiny word, would, changes the whole feeling.
So today, we're breaking down when and why native speakers use would. By the end, you'll sound so much more natural.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mindful English. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Liam. Great to have you with us today.
Liam, I think English learners have a love-hate relationship with the word would. It appears everywhere. I would go. I would have done it. But what's the actual difference?
It's the chameleon of English grammar. It changes its meaning completely depending on the context. Sometimes it's a dream, sometimes it's a memory, sometimes it's a regret.
And because it changes so much, learners often avoid it entirely. They stick to will or did because those feel predictable and safe.
But if you avoid would, you lose the ability to express your imagination, your memories, and your what-ifs. You lose depth.
So today, we're going to break down the 3 personalities of would. We'll show you when to use each one, and more importantly, what feeling each one carries. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to talk about dreams, memories, and alternate realities with confidence.
We're calling them the dreamer for imaginary situations, the nostalgic for past habits and memories, and the time traveler for regrets and what could have been.
We're focusing on the feeling of these sentences, not just the grammar rules, so you can use them naturally in conversation.
Ready? Let's step into the imagination. Let's start with the most common personality, the dreamer. This is when we talk about hypothetical situations, things that aren't real, but we're imagining them.
Right. This is the if world. If I had $1 million.
I would buy a boat. You don't have the money, but in your imagination, in that hypothetical world, you would do it.
But Liam, we don't always need the if part, right? Native speakers often drop it.
Exactly. We use the dreamer just to show our preference or personality, even without saying if. For example, I would never live in a cold city. This implies you're imagining it, and honestly, you hate the idea.
Or you could say, I would love to learn Italian someday. It's not a concrete plan yet, but it's a strong desire floating in your mind.
And the negative form is incredibly useful here. I wouldn't do that. It sounds so much softer than saying, don't do that. It's not a command. It simply means, in my imaginary version of this situation, I would choose no.
So the dreamer is about preferences, desires, and gentle advice, all living in the realm of imagination. Now, personality number 2, the nostalgic. This is when we use would to talk about the past, but not just any past. Warm, repeated memories.
Yes, this isn't about stating facts. It's about painting a picture. Instead of simply saying, I used to play in the park, you might say, when I was a kid, my friends and I would play in the park until sunset.
It feels alive, doesn't it? Like saying, every Sunday my dad would make pancakes. Or, we would sit by the fire and talk for hours. You're not just reporting what happened, you're reliving it.
Exactly. Use the nostalgic when you want to tell a story about a warm, repeated action from your past.
But what about the negative? Like, my dad wouldn't make pancakes.
Ah, this is tricky. In the negative past form, wouldn't actually changes meaning. It often means refused to. Think of a stubborn car. I tried to start the car, but it wouldn't start. It means the car refused to cooperate.
Or with a person. I asked him to apologize, but he wouldn't do it. He refused. So here's the pattern. The positive form is about warm habits. The negative form is about refusal or resistance.
Okay, now the third personality, And this is the deep one, the time traveler. This is would have.
This is for looking back at the past and imagining a different outcome. It's the grammar of regret, explanation, and relief.
I would have called you, but I lost my phone.
So the reality is, I didn't call you. But the alternate reality, the one that could have happened, is I would have called you.
We use this to explain our good intentions when things didn't go as planned. I would have come to the party, but I was sick. It's a way of saying I wanted to be there, but reality stopped me.
And the negative form, would not have, is often used for relief or lessons learned. If I hadn't met you, I wouldn't have found this job. That implies relief. You're saying, I'm so grateful I met you.
Or it can express a lesson. I wouldn't have done it that way if I'd known the rules. You're saying, looking back, I would have made a different choice.
So the time traveler lets us rewrite history in our minds. The positive form expresses regret or explanation, things we wish we'd done. The negative form expresses relief or lessons, things we're glad we didn't do or wouldn't do again. We just covered 3 personalities of would, but let's pause and feel the difference through some key expressions, because it's not just about grammar, it's about emotion.
First, the dreamer. If I won the lottery, I would travel the world. This is pure imagination. You're dreaming about what you would do in an unreal situation.
Second, the dreamer. If I were you, I wouldn't worry about it. This is how you give gentle, imaginary advice without being pushy. You're not commanding, you're suggesting.
Third, the nostalgic. Every summer, we would go to the beach. This paints a picture of a happy, repeated memory. You can almost feel the sand.
Fourth, the nostalgic. Car wouldn't start this morning. This means it refused to work. It's about resistance, not habit.
And finally, the time traveler. There's a beautiful idiom here. I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
This phrase is fascinating because even though it has wouldn't in it, which sounds negative, the meaning is incredibly positive. It means, I'm so happy I was there. Nothing could have kept me away.
Thanks for inviting me to your wedding. I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
And if you want more expressions and idioms like this, we've pinned a list in the comments. Also, check out our previous episodes where we've broken down other tricky grammar patterns with the same feeling-based approach.
Okay, let's put this into practice. We've designed a scenario to help you explore both the dreamer and the time traveler. We call it the parallel universe.
You're going to practice imagining a different life, both the things you would do now and the things you would have done in the past.
You'll ask the AI to give you hypothetical what-if questions. Then you'll answer using both personalities, one present dream, one past rewrite.
We've created a detailed prompt for you. We've put the full prompt in the description below. Just copy and paste it into your AI app.
Here's how it works. The AI might ask, what would you do if you were a chef? You answer, I would open a bakery in Paris. Done. Then the AI asks, what would you have done differently in your career? You answer, I would have studied culinary arts in my 20s. Done.
Each question gets its own answer. It's a natural back and forth, and you're practicing both patterns separately.
Try to go back and forth for at least 5 questions. It's surprisingly fun to imagine your parallel lives.
So now you have it. The 3 personalities of would. The dreamer for your imagination, the nostalgic for your warm memories, and the time traveler for your what-ifs and regrets.
No more avoiding would because you're not sure. Now you know exactly when each one fits.
Try that AI prompt today. Open your app and step into the parallel universe. See what your alternate life looks like.
And drop a comment. Tell us one thing you would do if you could rewrite your past, or one thing you would love to do in the future. We'd love to hear your dreams and your what-ifs.
And if this finally cleared up the confusion around would, share it with a friend who's been struggling with the same thing. They'll thank you.
Thanks for dreaming with us today. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Stop thinking, start training with Mindful English.